Hello, everyone. It is me, Danielle J. Mitchell, your up and coming queen of real estate, and I'm here to have a conversation about inspection day. So, on this week's Tuesday Tip at 2, I wanted to discuss with you inspections, right? So, I had posted that I was out with the clients and it was their inspection day, which is very exciting. And it's pretty much like the first thing you do after your offer has been accepted. If you are a buyer, after your offer has been accepted, the first thing you do is try to go ahead and schedule that inspection. So let's just go through it. So, what is an inspection? A home inspection, right? So, a home inspection is pretty much where they're going over and checking the heating system, the central air conditioning system, interior plumbing and electrical, roof, attic, insulation, visible insulation, of course, the walls, ceilings, floors, windows and doors, foundation, basement is a big one. They spend a lot of time in the basement, structural components, okay? Now, that is a home inspection. I want to make the distinction with the home inspection and other inspections, which we'll go through in a little bit, okay? So, home inspection. Home inspection is a part of your agreement to sell, okay? It's something that hopefully, now, not all sales go this way. Sometimes people will waive inspection if it's a really competitive market, which technically it is. People will waive inspections because it's one less thing to do during the closing process, right? So sometimes as an incentive, people will waive it. Typically, you want to do that. Maybe if you're an investor, that's prudent for you. So pretty much, if you do an inspection, you have what's called an option for inspection contingency, where the sale is contingent upon how the inspection turns out. Now, if some things come up in the inspection that's not favorable, or that's kind of spooky for you, or that's just really big issues, it is it is a way for you to back out of the agreement to sell, out of the contract, right? Because the contract is contingent upon the inspection going well, right? The inspection going well. Now, typically after you have signed the agreement to sell, which is what you would use to put in an offer, you have 10 days to go ahead, find an inspection company or inspector, and for them to come take a look at the house and for you to get that done. So you have 10 days, right? Between the time that you call them and the time that they come out, get it done, before, you are going beyond the appointed time and date per the contract, okay? After the inspection is done, you have 5 days to negotiate. 5 days. So maybe some things came up. Hey, there's a leak somewhere. Not major, but minor. Maybe under the kitchen sink, right? Now, you as the buyer have the option to say, hey, I want you to fix that leak. The seller has the option to say yes, no, or maybe so. They have the option to either repair it or give you a credit towards it or simply say no, right? So that's the negotiating, okay? That's the negotiating. Hopefully there's a give and take. The buyer's being reasonable. Hopefully the seller will be reasonable and you can get through that time period fairly quickly and swiftly and the deal can move forward, okay? So moving on to inspection. All right. So when you're so you want your inspection company, okay, it to be a part of the American Society of Home Inspector, okay. Now, me as your realtor, I will give you about 4 inspectors that you could, I recommend, and you can choose from them whatever is more affordable and everything like that. They all are from the American Society of Home Inspectors, okay, which is ASHI, okay? And you can go to ashi.org, okay, to look up inspectors yourself, and it also gives you some great information about home inspections in general, okay? So you can go there. Now, what the seller has to do is pretty much make their home available during the inspection process. They have to have the heat on, the utilities on, the water on. So even if it's a vacant property, they must have those utilities on for you so that you can do the inspection and have it done properly. Okay. The seller has to make sure, things are accessible, like the electric panel, even outlets. Okay. So if you might want to move furniture kind of out the way, scoot it over so that can be available for them to look at. Even the garage, you want to make sure the keys are available. So typically if you're a listing agent or if I'm acting as your listing agent, I'm going to let you know, hey, just try to move things around so that when the inspector, as well as appraisal, which is a different thing, and I'll kind of touch on that, you want to make sure that stuff is accessible. Okay, stuff is accessible. So that's the seller's role. As a buyer, who pays for the home inspection? You do, buyer. You pay for the home inspection. A lot of times, mortgage company, when they give you an estimated closing cost, they will put it into your estimated cost, but it is a prepaid thing. Now, home inspections, they vary. How much does it cost? Okay, between $400 and $500. Now, that is just for the home inspection, which covers everything that I said earlier. But there are also additional inspections that you can have done that is in the agreement of sale. Okay. Now, typically, if you're buying in Philadelphia, you want to get your home inspection done. That's between 400 to 500. You want to get your radon, and you want to possibly get termite done. Okay. Those are the typical ones I would say in the Philadelphia area. But depending on where you're trying to move to, okay, you may want to get other ones done. You may want to get other ones like deed restrictions and zonings. That is an inspection. Water service. I already mentioned radon. On lot sewage, property and flood insurance, property boundaries, lead-based paint hazards. Okay. And then you have an option to get another inspection done, which is kind of it left blank. Okay. So these are different options that you can have and you can get them. Like I said, for Philadelphia, you have typically your regular home inspection. You have your radon, which radon is that gas that can come from a basement that can be dangerous and everything like that. So you may want to get that done. That usually takes a couple of days for them to get a reading. They'll put it in there and leave it there maybe a couple of days, and we'll come and grab it. Okay. So what did I say? Home inspection, radon, and termite. Okay, some people just do home inspection and radon. Okay, depending on what county you live in, you may want to get the sewage checked out. Okay, you may want to get the lead depending on the condition of the house. So those are just options for you. All right. Now, please note that those different inspections, specific ones that I talked about, have their own separate costs. Okay, anywhere between $60 and $90 depending on the inspection company and everything like that. So please note that that will be in addition to the $400 to $500 for just the home inspection. Okay, how long does a home inspection take? Well, it depends on the size of the home. If you're getting a 4,000 square foot home, it's gonna take some time. Okay, to go through all of that. If you're getting a typical, what I would say, Philadelphia row home, that's anywhere between 900, 1,200 square feet, it could take anywhere from an hour and a half to 3 hours. It depends on the inspector. The inspection I went to yesterday, it took him an hour and a half. He was very thorough, very communicative. The high point of that is that it was just a great house. Nothing major came out of it. So it really depends on the inspector. It depends on the home. And if everything's accessible and goes smoothly, and it's, especially if you got a new build or something like that, it can go relatively quickly. So it just really depends, okay? It depends. It could depend on the number of defects, thoroughness of an inspector, all that stuff. This inspector was very thorough, and it took him about an hour and a half. He was pretty much done in an hour and 15 minutes, okay? Who should attend the inspection? Certainly, realtor, right? You, the buyer, and of course your spouse if you're married. Especially during times with COVID and everything like that. Wear our masks. and try to keep that social distancing and stuff like that. But just the pertinent people want to be involved in that process. Okay. After the inspection is done, what happens? What do you get, right? So you're going to get a list, okay, of everything that the inspector, usually he'll take pictures of everything as he's going through the house. You're going to get a list, okay, and it's going to be it depends on how many pages the report is. It varies, but I would say, let's say 8 to 15. It could be more. It could be 20. It could be 30, okay? So you're going to get an inspection report depending on the inspection company. Some get it to you right away. Some it may take a day for it to get to you, but you'll get that report. You're going to comb through everything that came up in the report. You want to really stick to the major stuff, okay? You really want to stick to major things. If nothing major is happening, maybe it's a lot of small stuff. Maybe you'll say, hey, I don't need you to fix anything, but can I just get maybe a $500 credit to fix up some of the things that's in the house? Reasonable, okay? What you're going to fill out is a buyer's reply to the inspection report. That's going to be between the realtor and the buyer, okay? That's something that the realtor gets filled out just to make sure they're capturing exactly what you want, the exact issues, and whether you want it repaired or a credit. And then me, the realtor, is going to send to the seller or the listing agent, okay, the agent that's representing the seller, the addendum to the agreement itself, which would include everything that was listed on the buyer's response to inspection report, okay? And that's pretty much it. I think that's it. So thank you guys so much for joining me on today's Tuesday Tip at 2, talking about inspections. What's the process? What do you do? How do you get it done? Well, that's it. I think I was pretty thorough. I think I was pretty thorough. Of course, if you have any questions, you can comment below. You can DM me, PM me. They always got some short acronyms. IMB, instant message, whatever it is. You can give me a call. My direct number is listed here, over there. You can do any of those things, and I will get back to you as soon as possible. Remember, there's no place like home. There's no place like home buying. I hope to talk to you all soon, and thank you so much for joining me, Danielle J. Mitchell, the up-and-coming queen of real estate. Bye-bye. Have a wonderful day.